The NBA. Coming up. And let's check out a breakdown looking at some stats for Tyrese Halliburton.
And he's had a rough past 5 games. He's had trouble finding his offensive rhythm and just hasn't been as effective as he'd like to be on that end. But this is something all players go through, and I'm sure he'll fight his way back.
Looking at the starting 5 for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Ant is at the 2 with McDaniels playing the 3. Rudy Gobert is out there with Julius Randle. And it's DiVincenzo in at the point. And for the Pacers, Halliburton runs point with Mathurin flanking him. Siakam at power forward with Turner in at center. And it's Walker in at the 3. Now here's Halliburton. Clock at 6. Indiana needs to get a shot off. It's rebounded by Minnesota. They're moving on after a tough loss they took at the hands of the Pacers.
They really struggled to find their footing throughout the night. But towards the end, they got into a flow and almost won it.
Yeah, a lot of character on display, a lot of guts. You're right. Even as shaky as they were, I would guess they felt they let one get away from them.
Randle can't hit. And Siakam has got the ball here for Indiana. Last time they met was in Minneapolis, where they beat the Timberwolves.
They really scrapped out a win last time. Foul trouble on the other side helped them immensely.
You know, whether it was their smart play or a few whistles that perhaps could have gone either way, when games are tight, every decision becomes more magnified.
Now here's Turner. Right now he's contributing about 15.5 points a game. Hits the three-pointer. So, Clark, here we are, the home stretch of the NBA season.
Yep, and now we get a chance, BA, to see who has something left in the tank. You certainly don't want to peak too early, but you do want to be steady as you move towards the latter part of the season and postseason.
And the basket is good. He got it to go, and he took the bump. So a free throw coming up, an opportunity at a three-point play. And from what we've seen so far in his career, Anthony Edwards wants to be that guy in crunch time, Clark.
B.A., I love his mentality, not only in that he wants to be the guy, but he also wants to elevate his teammates, and he plays the game with an exuberance and a joy and a freshness that is, you know, quite good to see. But I like his attack mentality and his willingness to step into leading his team by example at both ends of the floor.
Count it.
Confident in the paint, Turner knows he can cash in from this area.
Outside, DiVincenzo. Outside Edwards. Randle outside. Back to Edwards. It's stolen by Halliburton. Drives to the hoop. Laid it in with a nice touch off the window.
Driving lanes are created because they have to respect Halliburton's perimeter shot.
Edwards, the pass to McDaniels. Now here's Gobert. And that's good. His first bucket of the game.
Making a statement here early, going right to the rack. I love it.
Yeah, that's how he rolls. I mean, intimidate the opponent right now.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, Allie LaForce.
Brian, the Pacers love to push it up. Tyrese Halliburton said it's our biggest strength. Teams don't want to run with us. They know when you play us, have your tap shoes ready, especially if you're coming off of a back-to-back or you have a packed schedule. You do not want to see us. Brian, they have their identity.
No doubt about that, and it starts with him. Edwards, that's good.
And, you know, we need to keep seeing this from Edwards. It's encouraging to see him sink the mid-range J there.
And Jaden McDaniels picks up the foul. That's his first foul of the game.
Second team foul.
And so it's Indiana with it. Here's Halliburton. And he was fouled while in the act of shooting, so he'll take 2 free throws.
Second personal foul.
Clark, we hear a lot of talk about Halliburton's Supreme Court vision. Just how good is it?
I think it's phenomenal, B.A. To be the facilitator that he is, you've got to have an understanding of what you're trying to run, but also a feel for how to get people shots and to adjust on the fly to what the defense is providing. And it's feel as much as it is skill, feeling where defenders are, feeling where your teammates are or might be. And that is a gift. And he's honed that in a way that's made him one of the top dime droppers in the league.
Now here's Halliburton. You know, his stats have been solid, averaging around 18.5 points a game.
Getting out to a nice lead. Great flow and great execution.
Quality looks they're getting, and they're capitalizing on them, guys. They have to be happy with this start offensively.
Here's Edwards. 38 points for him last game against Indiana.
And let's not forget about the assist. His playmaking was critical for this team.
You know, Edwards is still tweaking his three-point shot, but it sure looked good there.
Now here's Halliburton. They lead by 4.
Oh, gritty defense. Protecting the rim at all costs against a guy who has all sorts of ways to finish.
Back to DiVincenzo. Outside McDaniels. For 3, Randall buries it from 3.
Yeah, you know, he's evolving his offense over time, Julius Randle, and I think the coaching staff is happy to see it. They like to see him take and make these shots.
Here's McDaniels. Nice dish, and the layup goes down.
Pounding it inside early and often, setting a physical tone.
Turner, a screen on McDaniels. Pass to Turner. Here's Halliburton. Back to Turner. Let's go with a 3. Down it goes, and a great assist by Halliburton. Halliburton's got 3 assists now in this one.
As a big, unless you're a dedicated rim runner, have to be some kind of threat from distance.
The first quarter all wrapped up, and it's been an exciting game so far. Indiana ahead. They lead by a... And it's been a pretty even game here after 1 quarter of play. All right, guys, let me get your thoughts on the Pacers and how they're playing so far.
Well, they've used the fast break well to score easy points and keep the defense unsettled.
And, you know, for them, guys, it's all about tempo. Keep the pressure on and do so as much as possible.
On the court for the Timberwolves, second quarter underway. Ant is at the 2 with McDaniels playing the 3. Julius Randle out there with Rudy Gobert. And it's DiVincenzo in at the 1 spot. They get it again. Gobert fires for 3. DiVincenzo can't hit.
Ooh, that's a tough break. After poor communication defensively, it leaves him all by himself.
Walker's shot is off. The Timberwolves trail. Well, there's no question. Pascal Siakam has raised the ceiling of this Pacers team.
Yeah, absolutely. He complements Halliburton's up-tempo style very well. And defensively, he shores things up with his ability to guard 1 through 5.
Well, that's a rebounding clinic right there. He boxed out and then went up aggressively and strong for it.
Halliburton against McDaniels. Siakam with a screen on McDaniels. Out to the right wing. And Siakam with the slam.
He's just such a long and powerful player. I mean, once Siakam gets inside like this, he's ready to jam.
Out to DiVincenzo. Pass to Edwards. Six on the shot clock. Oh, Edwards just pulling his way inside.
Boy, how about the strength of Edwards? Confident in taking on defenders and finishing.
Three-pointer, Halliburton. Turner passes to Halliburton. There's a screen by Turner. It's tipped. Ooh, McDaniels with a steal. For 3, Randall. Pacers with a rebound. They want to keep rolling here following a win against Minnesota.
And a quick look at the stats after that game. They were phenomenal from the charity stripe.
And not only what they did in making them, but what they did to get to the line. I mean, they were constantly in attack mode, driving the lane and drawing fouls.
It's scooped up. Pass to Edwards. And so they choose to intentionally foul.
You don't want to stop the clock right there. I'm not quite sure what he was thinking.
Yeah, but that's no excuse for that kind of foul. I mean, that might be an explanation for it, but certainly doesn't justify it. And even then, it's just not a good play.
Yeah, and Gobert's teammates encourage him to seek out his offense, especially when he's this deep.
All right, Clark, how about Rudy Gobert? What consistency rebounding the ball.
Yeah, averaging double digits pretty much every season, BA. And that helps them in the battle of possessions, obviously. And it also helps them control pace. You've got a guy who eats glass like that and defends at a high level. You got something real good for yourself.
The kick out to Edwards. Strong drive by Edwards. And Edwards slams it in.
Edwards is so physically developed already. Just brushes off the contact there. Really strong drive by Edwards.
And it's out of bounds to Indiana. And a look here at the scoring trend over the last several months for Naz Reid.
And he's been on a roll during these last few months, getting better in terms of scoring the ball and proving to be a key part of this team as we move farther along in the season.
This one for three. And Edwards with the basket on the assist by McDaniels. McDaniels got his third assist of the night. Halliburton against Edwards. Halliburton, the pass to Siakam. Buries it down low. Siakam's got 4 points this quarter.
Inside, Siakam gets the better of the defense using his agility, clearing himself a path to a shot.
Mathurin with a steal. Oh, and the fast break for the Pacers. Halliburton outside. Back to Mathurin from downtown. That's good. And Halliburton gets the assist. Halliburton's got his 5th assist in this one. And now we get a little perspective here on how the hustle game has been for the Pacers.
Well, the effort they've shown on defense has been infectious. Everyone on this team continuing to jump at opportunities to come away with steals.
You know, points off turnovers is something else they've excelled in. I expect the opponent at least to try to squeeze that orange a little better.
Here's Halliburton. Pass to Turner. 32 seconds left in the second period. Shot clock at 5. Walker passes to Turner. Over Gobert.
Love the way Gobert goes after shots. He blocks quite a few and alters many more.
And the fans love seeing incredible moments on defense like that block.
You know, you can't ask for any better defense than that. He responded so fast to the shooter, and it stifled him.
DiVincenzo against Mathurin. Pass to Gobert. Outside, DiVincenzo. Back to Gobert. Here's Edwards. Oh, and the buzzer beater is good!
Great job ending the quarter on a high note.
Allie, as always, thank you. We'll be back right after the break for the third quarter here on 2K Sports.
And something out of left field for you guys.
Ernie, left field, this is not baseball. This is a basketball show.
And now, let's get into the Indiana Pacers game. It's been a close one so far.
We need a department store intercom. Attention all ball.
Thanks for tuning in.
Second half of basketball is upon us, and we may be in for an exciting finish based on how close of a game we've seen so far. And you know, Anthony Edwards has been really making it happen, guys.
Yeah, tonight, he's done a great job of slashing through the lane and finishing.
Yeah, you know what, guys? They gave him too many free runs to the hoop in the first half. I think they've got to be a lot tougher on him. Body him up, be physical with him.
Andrew Nembhard is out there with Shepard. Then it's Toppin. Then it's Neesmith. And it's Bryant in at the center position. That's 5 for the Pacers. Toppin passes to Nembhard. Stolen by Miller. Outside, Alexander Walker. Well, Grant, you were an excellent defender in your day. So who was the toughest player you had to guard?
Well, there's so many great players, Michael, LeBron. But let's talk about the late, great Kobe Bryant. I mean, he really had no weaknesses. And even if you defended him perfectly, there's a good chance he can still make the shot. There's a touch of artistry to the floater. It takes feel as much as skill.
Here's Alexander Walker. And Grant, the success of teams like the Timberwolves showing that size still matters.
Yeah, in this pace and space era, that may have come into question just a bit, but size and skill combined has always been your best bet at winning.
And the second free throw is good. Pacers trail by 4. On the wing, Nembhard, covered by Alexander Walker. And then Bryant with the dunk.
And plays like that one can make the difference in a close game.
And it definitely got the bench on their feet, too.
Making a statement for sure. I mean, we'll see if they can maintain that aggressive approach, guys.
Nembhard, the pass to Bryant. Here's Shepard. Pass to Nesmith. There's a screen by Toppin. And that misses. That would have put them up. The Timberwolves have gone just 1 of 3 in the second half. And a foul call. And they're not happy with the call here. Coach has given the signal.
Second team foul. Shooting for Minnesota.
We were worried that this would slow the action down. But with so many close calls in every game, the NBA was smart to adopt this challenge policy in 2019.
You know, one thing this does for a coach is let his players know he's got their back. If they're adamant that the call was wrong, he'll back them up and make the refs take another look. So they see clear evidence of a bad call, and they're going to overturn it. Probably the right decision.
And give credit to the officials for recognizing the mistake and correcting it. Nobody likes to say they got it wrong, but they fixed it in a hurry.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Naz Reid. That's his first foul of the game. Indiana's gotten 3 of their 7 threes to find the net in this matchup. Here's Shepard for the tie. Minnesota with a rebound. They'll be playing host to New Orleans for their next one. That'll be the first of 2 games on their home court. To the inside. It's stolen. Ooh, can't tie it up as that one's no good. Minnesota's gone 0 for 2 from outside here in the third. Here's Reid. Money on the 19-footer. Reid's got his first points of the night.
Off-ball preparation paying off for Reid. He was just waiting for that pass.
Pass to Shepard.
2 minutes remaining in the third. 2 minutes.
1:57 left in the third quarter of the game. Nembhard, right side. The rebound by Shannon.
Well, you got to miss sometimes, but that one seemed like a gimme.
And you think about the value Andrew Nembhard provides. Clark, he really excels at running the offense.
He's the quintessential point guard, BA. Has a great feel for setting up his teammates for what they're trying to get done. Plays with tremendous pace and great confidence. Typically doesn't over-dribble and is unafraid of any moment.
They get the rebound. Pacers trail by 4. To the middle. And the dunk to finish it off. A beauty.
Outstanding distribution there. I mean, what impressive passing ability.
Outside, Alexander Walker. Outside Reid. 6 to shoot. Back to Alexander Walker. The top of the key jumper is on the mark. Alexander Walker's got 5 points.
Love the pass from Reid that time. These guys love playing with him.
On the wing, Alexander Walker. Guarded by Toppin. Back to Reid. A slam dunk Dunk by Reed.
And that's what happens when you don't take care of the ball.
Hey, that makes the turnover hurt even more.
What, you mean the throwdown at the end? I'll tell you what, fellas, I mean, the highlight shows are going to pain them even more.
Here's the screen by Bryant. Shot to stop the run. Back to Nimhard. Three-pointer. Indiana again missing.
And they're doing strong work on the glass, a +5 advantage for them.
And guys, you know that rebounding is a huge part, a huge component of winning games. It's not a glamorous stat, but it's necessary if you're going to be a winning team.
Pick works well there, but the defense left a lot to be desired.
Yeah, that's not the defense you need. You got to be tougher defensively.
And so it's Minnesota. They lead by 11 as the quarter comes to a close. And while we have a chance, let's go to our State Farm assist of the game.
Now, I know he's a big man, but he's got some point guard in him if he's making passes like this.
Hey, that was a high-level pass no matter what position it came from. But it does make it stand out a little more when it's made by the big fella.
And there have been two very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. On the court for Minnesota, Amp is at the 2 with McDaniels playing the 3. Rudy Gobert is out there with Julius Randle. And it's DiVincenzo in at the 1. Edwards looking it over.
They're not shooting the 3 ball as well as they did in the first half.
Off target from 3-point range. Siakam for 3. And the 3-pointer goes.
A guy who can work the whole arc. Smooth corner shot by Pascal.
Siakam against Randle. Outside Edwards. Back to Randle. And it's Randle with the jam.
Outstanding execution. Good job working the ball inside.
Siakam for 3. And it's Gobert with a rebound. Minnesota leading by 10. Edwards with it. Turner covering. Gobert passes to Edwards. The rebound by Turner. Turner's got 4 rebounds now. Pass to Siakam. Outside Walker. Now Halliburton. Back to Walker. Here's Halliburton. Guarded by Edwards. Halliburton against Edwards. And the shot clock expires. 24-second violation. Neesmith, he's checked in for Matherin. And the Timberwolves also making a change. Alexander Walker's checked in. Siakam against Randle. Shoots over Halliburton. Here's Edwards. McDaniels passes to Alexander Walker. Shoots over Siakam. Alexander Walker with the bucket. And the Timberwolves lead by 12.
Well, I'm not sure how that one found the bottom of the net, but hey, you take it when it comes.
And a look now at Minnesota's upcoming schedule. On Wednesday, they'll go up against C.J. McCollum and the New Orleans Pelicans.
They're looking at an almost ideal stretch of schedule. Games they can win all on home court. They'd have to really go cold to not have these next couple games go their way.
McDaniels inside, working on Walker. Randle on the screen. Here's Edwards. Here he goes. And Edwards slams it in.
Boy, tonight just gives you a picture of the potential of Edwards. I mean, this guy is an electrifying scoring guard.
Halliburton on the drive. To the left side wing. And it's going to be a 3-second call.
We've seen more than a few miscues from them tonight.
And I tell you what, more brain-neutral plays like that one, and they'll have a hole deeper than the one they're already in.
Minnesota leading by 14. And Aaron Neesmith picks up the foul. That'll be a second foul of the game.
Second personal foul. Second team foul.
Just over 2.5 minutes played now. Final quarter of regulation. Outside McDaniels. Pass to Gobert. The kick out to Edwards. Shot clock at 6. And here's McDaniels. Walker covering.
And there's just one foul now away from the penalty.
Yep, the next one puts them on the line, so they've got to be careful the rest of the way.
Edwards against Halliburton.
2 minutes remaining in the game.
Now Edwards. Clock at 4. There's the 3.
Well, Halliburton can be a pesky defender now. He's got quick feet, he's got length, and he's got the desire to defend.
Neesmith with it. He's picked up by Edwards. Here in the fourth quarter, just under 2.5 gone by. Down low. Here's McDaniels. The shot no good. Oh, nice D from Walker. Halliburton right side. They still need this. And Indiana misses again.
Boy, I'm absolutely shocked he didn't get that one to go. Usually he's money from deep.
Pass to Randall. Outside, Alexander Walker. So, Clark, you think the winner of the NBA Cup should be guaranteed an automatic playoff bid?
Man, that's interesting. I think it could make for a more competitive tournament. So if that would be the outcome, then I would be all for it. But what happens if the tournament winner is the #1 seed at the end of the season? I think you'd have to find alternative incentives to NBA.
Barring a miracle comeback, this one is wrapped up. They were able to control the tempo and flow of the game, and it will end in a victory for the Timberwolves.
They were the more accurate club, and in the end, that made the difference, Grant.
Yeah, B.A., you have to love their strategy. And even more, you love the execution.
And their efforts tonight pushed them to 41 wins on the year so far.
After losing the first game, they've come back and evened things up in this one. They'll play one more time in this season series after this.
And partner, it sets up what should be a fantastic finale to the season series. Major bragging rights on the line that night.
And as it was happening, as it was building, you knew this was a monster game for Anthony Edwards.
Boy, from a scoring standpoint, he was absolutely sensational. Made the game look easy tonight.
Here's Edwards. Off the mark. And so it's Minnesota easily grabbing this one. Exceptional effort on the road. They were ready and they were focused.
Time to issue.
Greetings, everyone. Now we have a moment to look at how the blocks have been stacking up over the past several months for Miles Turner.
We're just not seeing that same fierceness out of him defensively these last few months. He's lost a little bit of that intimidation factor. He's not blocking as many shots, and he's not making the same impact on that end of the floor.
And the starting group for the Grizzlies. Morant is the point with Bane out on the wing. Jaren Jackson is out there with Jackson, and it's Bagley in at the center position. And for the Pacers, Siakam is the 4, and he'll be next to Turner at the 5. Aaron Nesmith is out there with Halliburton, and it's Walker in at the 3, the small forward. And every year, and Greg, we agree, Bane seems to get better and better as a playmaker.
Doesn't overdo anything with his passing. Looks more and more comfortable creating off the driving kick. He's become a large part of this offensive engine.
Shot clock at 5. Here's Nesmith. Good for the basket. Starting off 1 for 1 with that shot.
And I'll bet that's what they talked about before the game, getting the ball inside early.
Morant against Halliburton. Kept alive. Outside for Jackson. Down low. Goes back up. And Morant will lay it in.
Getting this one to fall hopefully gets things rolling. Their first make out of 5 shots.
Morant against Halliburton. He takes it in. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
So good at just reading the defense. That time, Halliburton maintains his dribble and gets to where he wants to go.
Now here's Morant. Jackson setting the pick here for Morant. Outside Jackson. And Aaron Nesmith gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul.
First team foul.
Bane looking around. Bagley the screen. 4 on the shot clock. The tray. Bane with the bucket.
Just another day in the office for Mr. Bane.
For Memphis, they come in off the loss to the Kings in Sacramento. Turner with the screen for Halliburton. Here in the first, just under 2.5 minutes played so far. Just 5 on the clock. That ball, nice speed that time from Turner. Halliburton's got his second bucket. Richard, this place is absolutely buzzing with anticipation. Each team with their first game of the season here tonight.
The key now is making sure your season starts with a win. That first job is a catalyst to the start of your season. Helps you find a rhythm very early.
Halliburton passes to Nesmith. Back to Halliburton. Bucket number 3. He's a perfect 3 for 3 to start.
For a skinny guy, Halliburton has a lot of confidence inside. In fact, he's confident at everything he does.
Let's check in with our reporter, David Aldridge.
Kevin, the Pacers obviously pushed the fast break. Tyrese Halliburton says the emphasis is getting outlets and running, playing fast. That's a good identity to have. It's a team that people want to play for, and it's a style you don't want to play against. You've got to be ready to play us. Kevin, the idea is for them to wear you down.
They fly, David. Baseline to baseline. They can really go. And here's Morant. After Tyrese Halliburton was able to get the triple. And finished off by Morant.
Okay, I see you, Ja, flexing a little bit of muscle, showing off that athletic ability. Okay.
And Greg, we know the Pacers have to improve defensively. But where do they start?
Candidly, Kevin, I
feel like they're too soft. Giving up offensive rebounds, cheap fouls, they've got to be tougher mentally and physically, especially on the interior.
Banked in off the glass. And that's 11 points for John Morant.
Talk about putting a team on your back. He has been dominant this quarter, and I don't think they are winning without him.
Halliburton with the bucket.
How about 5 straight made from the field to start?
Memphis has gone 2 of 5 from three-point land here in the first quarter. Morant left side. It falls for the 6th time in 7 tries this contest. That's 86%.
And when they've gone to him, he has come through big time. You got to keep getting him touches.
Now, here's Halliburton. 11 points in the game. Morant with the steal. That one, no good. Excellent defense there from Halliburton. Siakam finds Walker. To Siakam. And the last second attempt does not go in for him. John Morant has been leading the charge, guys. Some good action already in this one, but a fairly even matchup after the first quarter of play. Guys, what's your take on the Grizzlies so far?
Just stretching out the floor in that first. They had the defense scrambling.
Their points came almost exclusively from beyond the arc, and as this game continues, that should open up the floor for the rest of their offense.
Siakam is the 4, and he'll be next to Turner at the 5. Tyrese Halliburton is out there with Nesmith, and it's Walker in at the 3. That's the 5 to begin the second quarter for the Pacers.
And if you're wondering what makes Josh so special, it's his ability to take over games all by himself.
R.J. Morant has always had unquestionable talent. Now it's a question of, can he focus on his game?
And you hope he had his wake-up call. Still one of the most exciting players in the game. His burst and bounce, one of a kind.
Here's Morant, following the score by Tyrese Halliburton. And that one's good, Morant. Morant's got the lead, back up to 3 now for Memphis.
They are attacking the rim and getting great results.
Halliburton shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
Personal foul.
That one's on Morant.
Oh, great job by Halliburton. Recognize the needs, being a little too aggressive there.
Halliburton hits them both. Seems like every time, Greg, we see Tyrese Halliburton, he's wearing a big smile on his face.
Talk about a guy who just loves this game. Halliburton is such an enthusiastic player, and that positive attitude really infects his entire team.
Morant finds Jackson. And it's Bagley in the corner. Takes it inside. That's good. And it's Jackson with the assist that time. Bagley's got the lead up to 3 now for Memphis. Here's Halliburton. It's good for his 8th consecutive basket in only 8 tries. Wow.
And I'll give this to Halliburton. He's been in attack mode all night.
Jackson setting the pick here for Morant. Takes the 3. Here's Bagley. The Pacers pull it in. They came away with the victory in their last meeting, which, by the way, was also in this building.
Well, last time out, they got the win in large part because of the play of their bench, and they provided a lot of the scoring.
And you can tell how important having depth is for them. Sometimes it's the difference between a win and a loss.
Now here's Turner. Nothing on the board. And for those of you just joining us, we're almost 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Jackson with the screen. Bain kicks to Jackson. Now here's Bain. Nesmith covering. Jackson setting the pick here for Morant. Off target from 3-point range. For Indiana, they've gone 3 of 4 for the floor here in the second quarter. Bagley with the block.
And a skilled shot blocker to boot. Love how Bagley uses that height and reach to stifle shooters.
3 minutes of action so far in the second quarter.
just doesn't seem to have it here in the second quarter.
4 on 3 as they bring it up. Jackson is the open look. Offline with his 3. Indiana trailing here. It's an odd stat, but what I'm going to throw out there anyway, the Memphis Grizzlies set an NBA record last season for players used in a season.
Kevin, this isn't football, right? They had 33 different guys suited up last season. That tells you how difficult it was. Constant change, hard to build chemistry, and let's face it, hard to win games.
Here's Morant, following the score by Tyrese Halliburton. They need this one. Outside for Jackson. Jackson against Walker. 5 to shoot. Jackson passes to Bain. Shot from the wing. Pascal Siakam grabs the miss. Pacers leading by 4. Halliburton looking around. And he banks in the layup. Halliburton's got 23 points.
And not hard to see why they are giving up points on this run. Just too many good looks from in close.
And Morant throws it down.
It's been all about Ja tonight. Can score in so many different ways.
Pass to Neesmith. Back to Halliburton. Siakam a screen on Morant. And the call will be against Marvin Bagley. That is his first foul of the game.
Personal foul. Second team foul.
Halliburton against Morant. Kicks it out to Siakam. Good on the three-point shot. Siakam's got a pair of triples in the second now for Indiana.
He was inside his own head in that first quarter. You could see it. Now he's doing a much better job of letting the game come to him.
Count it, and the Pacer lead has been cut down to 4 on the bucket from Morant.
And he's having quite the quarter, converting at a really high percentage.
Here's Halliburton. 23 points in the game. And the shot goes in. He's got 25.
I'll be honest, he's having a better quarter than a lot of my nights back when I played.
Here's Jackson driving to the basket. And he drops in the layup off the glass.
And we talk about the importance of versatility. He's really got it all on the offensive end.
And a close game so far through the first 2 quarters as we reach halftime. Pacers out in front, leading by 4. We're going to step away briefly, but get you right back out here for the start of the third quarter after our halftime.
They've been choosy when hunting for shots, guys. I like that. Trying to capitalize on every single possession.
And it's time now for... And that is it for half.
We've got second half action for you, and if the next couple quarters are similar to the first, this one could go down to the last possession. Tyrese Halliburton has been sensational.
And how about the amount he's contributing in the scoring column? Through 2 quarters, he has been terrific.
Nemo always wants to be a go-to guy for them. I'm sure he'll be calling for the ball even more in this half.
Kicking off the second half, here's Taylor Jenkins' 5. They've got Kennard, Edey out there with Clark, then there's Wells, and it's Williams at the 2. Now here's Williams, here's Clark, and then Clark slams it in.
Quick off the floor and powerful. Clark loves to attack that rim.
Here's Shepherd. Lays it up off the glass. Shepherd's got 4 points this quarter. And something that every NBA player has now that maybe they didn't a couple years ago, RJ, their own personal trainer.
Well, it's just a beautiful investment of your own resources back into your body. I love that players are hiring chefs, dietitians, sleep aides, and the teams are hiring them. I love every aspect of that. And you got to give credit to the D for never giving up on the play and doing just enough to bother him at the rim.
Here's Williams. Pass to Edey. And the foul is called. He intentionally grabbed him there for some reason. I don't know.
Kevin, all I can think of is that he's trying to slow the game down a little bit. That's a stretch, though. Definitely a strange move on his part.
6 on the shot clock. Ryan against Kennard. Count it. 80's got his first bucket of the night.
And guys, the D has to show a little more fight on the interior than they did on that trip.
Mathurin with the ball. Still yet to score. And that one no good to start him off on the night. And you look at the Grizzlies defense the last few years, RJ extremely disruptive.
Yeah, they've been top of the league in steals and blocks. That's just a part of the DNA in Memphis. It can be exhausting playing against guys like this.
And some hang time on the rim. Puts a little cherry on the top of that slam.
Well, those kind of displays of strength can get one team rolling. Shepard the pass to Mathurin. From outside, off the mark.
The defense just giving him the easy look there. He's not going to miss that.
Williams looking over the floor. Pass to Edey. Kennard for 3. Buries the long-range jumper. Kennard's got 5 points so far.
Okay, so they've looked energized and focused starting this half. Coming out of the break, making 4 out of their first 5.
And a wide-open look for Mathurin. And they wasted no time getting those 3 points back. And the Pacers lead by 2. And now we're 3 minutes into the third quarter of play. There's the screen. Here's Kennard. Pass to Edey. Fires from the wing. It's rebounded by Indiana.
You can't look at the result of that shot. They'll take that whenever they get it.
Yeah, it's a great look for him. One they'll try and manufacture again. Those are the shots you want him to take.
Okay, let's just say it. This has been an ugly quarter for him. Not quite a break a mirror ugly, but it's getting there.
Outside Williams. Right wing. Now here's Wells. He's guarded closely. Here's Edey with the clock winding down. And here's Kennard. He has 5. Memphis needs to get off a shot here. Edey can't hit. Indiana's got fewer than half of their 3-pointers to go down tonight. They're 4 for 9. Mathurin against Williams. Now Mathurin. Indiana needs to get a shot off. And here's Bryant for 3. Frames the 3, and yes, he'll go to the line for one more. Edey picks one up, and this is his first trip to the line tonight.
And looking back last season, how about 87% from the line? So that's obviously nothing to sneeze at.
The Grizzlies trail by 6. There's 37 seconds left to play here in the third. Shots good by Kennard.
Used the pick to perfection and got all the way to the rim.
Mathurin for 3, and the Pacers another 3.
Great outside shooting, really fueling this run.
There's 21 seconds left to play in the third. He dialed that one up from long distance. Kennard's got 10 points in the game.
And he's clearly led the way offensively. The question is, can they ride him and get back into it?
Outside Mathurin. Driving in. And he goes in for the dunk.
You gotta love his aggressiveness to finish inside.
Well, his leaping ability gives him a great advantage. And Kennard launches it from deep. And so it's the Indiana Pacers with a 6-point lead at the end of the quarter. Rick Carlisle had some words for his team.
Hold your ground. Hold your ground.
Well, what a terrific game it's been so far, with this fourth quarter sure to bring more pressure-packed basketball. And so it's Rick Carlisle here calling timeout. He's not taking any chances and wants to huddle them up right away. Right now, let's send it over to the sidelines and get a report from David Aldridge.
Well, during the break, I listened in on Rick Carlisle's huddle. Now, they've been happy with the way the team is shooting. He reminded players to keep taking those threes, that they've had some clean looks. That three goes in, it's always a welcome sight. Guys?
Thank you, David. Siakam is the 4, and he'll be next to Turner at the 5. Neesmith is out there with Tyrese Halliburton, and it's Walker in at small forward. That's the Pacers' 5. Now here's Jackson. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. Now here's Halliburton. Pass to Siakam. That's good. It's Halliburton with the assist. Halliburton's got 3 assists now in this one. Morant with a wide-open look. Trying to answer back, but that 3 is off the mark. Pacers leading by 9. Turner finds Halliburton, and the whistle blows. It's going to be on Jaren Jackson. That's his first foul.
First personal foul. First team foul.
Halliburton outside. Siakam with it. Picked up by Bagley. Just 5 to shoot. Halliburton drives in. Makes it off the glass. And it's an 11-point Pacer lead.
When you allow good scorers to get uncontested shots at the rim, no wonder you're losing.
That's a great possession. Put your best players in a position to succeed.
Connects from three-point range.
When Ja is knocking down that 3 consistently, it takes his game to a different level.
Here's Halliburton. Out to Turner. This one for 3. Bagley with the rebound. The Grizzlies trail by 8. Morant outside. And we're about 2 minutes into the fourth quarter now. And he makes good on the layup. Morant's got 5 points now this quarter. Halliburton with it. Now defended by Bane. And there's the foul. It'll go on Tyrese Halliburton. That is his first foul of the game. Here's Morant. Outside for Jackson. The offensive rebound. And Jackson throws it down hard.
The more time Jackson spins at the rim, the better. His length is a deciding factor in this game.
Here's Siakam. That falls. Nice feed that time from Halliburton. Halliburton's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. And so it's Bane with it. He'll bring it up for the Memphis Grizzlies. They trail by 6. Outside for Bagley. Craps in the tray.
Stepping up, Bagley lives to compete. He wants the ball when the game is on the line.
Halliburton penetrating and finished off by Halliburton.
And guys, there's just an air about Halliburton. He has such belief in his abilities, and eventually others start to believe.
Now here's Bane. There's the killer two-handed slam.
Just absolute ice in the veins of Bane. That is an impressive bucket.
First personal foul. Second team foul.
Pacers leading by 3. A minute 42 left in the fourth. And it's Halliburton penetrating. Plays it up and banks it in. Halliburton's got 31.
Terrific concentration from Halliburton. His poise is what allows him to convert through the contact.
Jackson, a screen on Halliburton. And it's Morant missing. Pacers have gone 5 of 6 from the field to start the fourth quarter on a roll. Halliburton on the wing. Guarded by Jackson. Turner kicks to Halliburton. Siakam sets a screen for Halliburton. Oh, good on the 3. The Grizzlies trail by 5. Here's Jackson. It counts. What a beautiful shot to bring him to within 3.
And you want him taking big shots for you in big moments. That one was as easy as it gets.
Yeah, it's clear why they go to him in these moments. They know he's going to deliver for them.
Halliburton got it.
Huge finish from Halliburton. From the moment he entered the league, Tyrese has been clutch.
Morant outside. Outside for Jackson. Money!
Absolutely no problem, says Jaren Jackson Jr. He was ready to shoulder the load there.
This could be a turning point.
Critical possession right here.
3 seconds separate the shot clock and game clock. Halliburton. It's tipped, and it's out of bounds. Last touch by Morant.
On the court for the Pacers, number 00.
Siakam looking around. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Stolen by Jackson. And it's Taylor Jenkins calling timeout here. No doubt he is feeling the importance of this moment right now. And let's get your take, guys. What's the strategy?
And with this much time, they should be able to draw up a play and get themselves a decent look from the three-point line. Still, the D is going to be waiting for it in a contested 3. Never an easy shot.
So a close game sees Indiana take this one. That was a fun night of basketball and fabulous finish as they continue.
quick look now at how the point totals have looked over the last few months for Anthony Edwards.
He's been on a tear offensively these past few months, and you know how much they love the extra points he provides. He's been shouldering a bigger load recently, and I think he's just getting started.
And here's Memphis's starting group. Manning the backcourt, we'll see Morant and Payne. Jackson out there with Jackson, and it's Bagley in at the 5. And for Minnesota, Amp is at the 2 with McDaniels playing the 3. Rudy Gobert is out there with Julius Randle, and it's DiVincenzo in at the point. And Minnesota with possession here after the basket by Memphis. Here's Edwards. Uneasy, too, on the layup. Grant, nothing quite like the first game of a brand new season. So many possibilities.
Well, you know, B.A., for the players, you're excited and relieved at the same time. You get to see all the hard work you put in during the offseason pay off.
Here's Morant. The Timberwolves getting their last shot to go.
You know why Morant makes those dunks look so easy? He's got a 44-inch vertical. That's unbelievable.
Now here's Edwards. Last game out, he had 38 points. And Edwards slams it in.
Great job on the back end of the play.
Yep, finished with both hands, making sure of it. McDaniels against Morant. Six to shoot. Kicks it out to Jackson. Takes the 3. It's blocked by Gobert. And they turn it over. Shot clock violation as the buzzer sounds. And in the first, a little over a minute and a half in. Randle on the screen. Edwards, a pass to Randle. No good from outside. The Grizzlies have gone 2 of 3 from the floor. Defensive Player of the Year 4 times over, Stan. Rudy Gobert tied for the record.
Yeah, Brian, alongside Dikembe Mutombo and Ben Wallace, and Gobert's capable of getting another one too, assuming his countryman Victor Wembanyama doesn't start taking the reins.
Here's Gobert. Oh, persistence pays off as they finally hit a shot.
Pounding the offensive glass. That's where Gobert gets a lot of his extra chances.
Payne with a screen on McDaniels. Outside Payne. And there's the drive. Boom! He jams it straight down.
Well, that's not what the defense wants to see. Payne is dangerous when he gets downhill.
Randle a screen on Jackson. Here's Edwards. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Edwards got 6.
Scoring well this quarter, picking up steam as he goes.
Outside Morant. Payne with a screen on McDaniels. Kicks it out to Payne. Jackson against Edwards. Just 5 to shoot. Jackson can't get it to go. Minnesota in the lead. A chance here to catch up with Allie from the sideline.
Well, the Timberwolves are one of the biggest teams in the association, and Coach Chris Finch said, quote, "That's how we're built. It's part of our identity. That's what we have to lean into. We want to be big at the rim and force our size on opponents." Brian, he loves to see other teams hesitant to venture into the paint.
Hearing footsteps, right? Allie, thanks.
Yeah, it's so tough to knock Morant off balance, and he's so talented at keeping his focus on the basket.
There you go. He's a monster at the rim.
So athletic. Obviously, he plays on the attack. And so it's Memphis with it after the Timberwolves picking up a basket a moment ago.
And you know you're always going to see some highlights when Morant is on the court. I mean, he loves to use that incredible 44-inch vertical.
Now here's Edwards. Give him 8 points now. Randle a screen on Jackson. Outside for Randle. Back to Edwards. Sweet little floater. He's got 10.
And he's 5 of 7, getting into a nice rhythm offensively.
Jackson with a screen on McDaniels. Here's Morant. Oh, there's Morant with the slam.
What? Wait. Hey, dunks are always for the big boy.
Emphatic move by the point guard.
Well, in this league, you can see powerful plays from anyone and anywhere. Your position no longer dictates your scoring options.
Yeah, a shot that Randall has added to his repertoire. Shooting the three with confidence now.
And here's Morant outside. And it's Morant again missing. McDaniels from long range. They get it back. Here's Edwards. And that one's good. A nice job on the glass as they picked up 2 on the second effort.
And once more this half, they find a way to get great position inside.
Anthony Edwards has been on display for the Timberwolves. He made a big impact. If you're just joining us, we played through 1 quarter in this one. And a moment to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from for Minnesota.
Well, their game plan has been very effective so far. They're working the ball inside, putting constant pressure on the defense.
And of course, taking it inside, always a great game plan. And I'm curious if there'll be an adjustment from the defensive end. Maybe sag off some shooters a little bit.
And is at the 2 with McDaniels playing the 3. Julius Randle out there with Rudy Gobert. And it's DiVincenzo in at the point guard position. So that's the Timberwolves 5. Grant, when it comes to Anthony Edwards, fair to say he's meeting expectations so far.
Oh, no question, B.A. The first overall pick in the 2020 draft, Edwards has been anything but a bust. Now we are seeing him trying to compete for titles.
Dang, no good. The Timberwolves lead by 8. Oh, and Jackson with the block. Bain surveying the D. Pass to Jackson. Just over a minute has passed here in the second quarter. Gets it to go. That makes him 2 for 3 in this game.
Yeah, I'd call this ideal scoring distance. It's almost too easy.
Outside McDaniels. Gets his second attempt to go. Now he's 1 for 2.
But look, you want to put your guys in a position to succeed. McDaniels is more comfortable operating off the catch than he is initiating.
The three-pointer is down, Ja Morant.
Well, with his skill and confidence with the ball, if you put him in position, he'll reward you.
Morant against DiVincenzo. Oh, plenty of contact on that shot. Official, and here comes the coach's challenge. He disagrees with the foul. He does not hesitate.
At the line for your DiVincenzo.
This would slow the action down. But with so many close calls in every game, the NBA was smart to adopt this challenge policy in 2019.
You know, one thing this does for a coach is let his players know he's got their back. If they're adamant that the call was wrong, he'll back them up and make the refs take another look. So they see clear evidence of a bad call, and they're going to overturn it. Probably the right decision.
And give credit to the officials for recognizing the mistake and correcting it. Nobody likes to say they got it wrong, but they fixed it in a hurry.
Now here's Morant. 11 points in the game. And here in the second quarter of action, just a hair under 2.5 minutes played. Pass to McDaniels. Now Gobert. Defended by Jackson. It's an even 3-on-3 break. Now Morant. Jackson with a screen on McDaniels. Kicks it out to Jackson. And the dunk by Jackson.
Putting that length and athleticism to use. Jackson rises up.
Oh, they get a hand on it. And stolen by Bagley. It's an even 3-on-3 break. From deep. And there's Jackson on the assist from Bagley. Jackson's got 7 points. And, Coach, you took the Magic to the 2009 NBA Finals. Give us an idea of the different kind of pressure that exists in the finals.
Well, I didn't really feel as much pressure, but at the end of it, it was excruciating to get that close and to have a chance and then to lose in 5 games, like even then going through it, that it's going to be hard to get another chance at it. So I would just sum it up and say excruciating.
Now here's Morant. 11 points in the game. Jackson outside. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Anthony Edwards. That's his first foul.
First team foul.
1:14 left in the first half of this game. Bane against Randall. Out to Bagley. Shot clock at 3. And the foul on Marvin Bagley. That'll be a second foul of the game.
A great job to establish position and square up.
Minnesota leading by 4. Outside, DiVincenzo. Edwards for 3. And again, it's Minnesota with a 3.
Well, when Edwards gets this hot, all an opponent can hope to do is limit the damage.
Here's Morant to halt the run. In the paint, Morant puts it in.
Woo, just selling the defense on the pump fake.
Minnesota's got it going from deep. 3 for 3 so far in the quarter. Randall, a screen on Jackson. It's Edwards with a drive. And Edwards slams it in.
Hey, good luck stopping Edwards when he puts his head down and attacks the basket.
Outside Morant. Jackson, the screen. Pass to Jackson. Back to Jackson. From deep, Bane. Deflected by Gobert. Seven seconds left in the second quarter. Here's Edwards with the... Oh, a sensational slam by him.
Can you say immediate entry into the highlight reel? What a tough game.
It's showtime now, man. They've built up a lead, and they're starting to rub it in. And so it's Minnesota. They have a nice 9-point cushion at the end of the quarter, and it's mostly due to their superb shooting. They've wasted very few possessions. All right, we'll get back to the action after this break.
You have to ask yourself, how much better can they play? Good decision-making, they made shots. That's very impressive, man.
And now let's... And that's it for half.
Well, for those just tuning in, thanks for being with us. Second half of this game still to play. And you know, Anthony Edwards has been really making it happen, guys.
I like how they control the tempo and play to his strengths.
Yeah, he's found his spots, been patient with his shot selection, and it's paid off for himself and the team.
Getting underway in the second half. Here's the 5 for Taylor Jenkins. They've got Vince Williams, Edey out there with Brandon Clark. Then it's Luke Kennard, and it's Wells in at the 3 spot. Out of bounds, it'll go to the Timberwolves. And here we have the 2K leaderboard with last year's best 3-point shooters. You look at Kennard, never leave him open. Second in the association from deep. And of course, Mike Conley, he's right there with those guys. This is a guy you cannot leave alone behind the arc.
It was fun watching both of these guys tear it up from downtown. It just seemed like any chance they got to take the deep ball, they took the shot without hesitation. I just love the confidence.
Stan, certain NBA teams take on the identity of their home. Like the Grizzlies, for example. They call Memphis Grind City.
Well, Brian, I think it's a perfect fit. Hard-working people in a hard-working city, and they want a hard-working team.
Outside Reed, out left to the wing. And the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a 3-point play. And, Coach, how about Naz Reid, the 2024 Sixth Man of the Year award winner?
Yeah, Brian, sort of unique.
We often associate that award with shooting guards, but although he's a big, Reed is more than capable of putting up big numbers, including from long distance. Not really what we expected. You know he wants that one back.
To the paint. Here's Minot. Pass to Reed. Jacks up a three. The shot by Alexander Walker, no good.
And you just can't afford to give up that kind of look very often.
And the foul called on Nickeil Alexander-Walker. That's his first foul.
First team foul.
Stolen by Miller. Here's the break.
They're really in control on both ends of the floor right now, forcing turnovers and finding easy points while the other guys struggle to keep up.
Kennard outside. Three-pointer. Ooh, the Grizzlies with another miss. The Timberwolves lead by 15. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Allie LaForce.
We hear players proclaiming their love for the game, but former sharpshooter J.J. Redick said there's a distinction between loving the competition itself and loving the game and everything that goes into that. Guys say, I just want to play. Well, do you want to do all of the necessary things that lead up to that? Hey, Brian, 15 NBA seasons for Redick. He'd know.
He certainly would. Thanks, Allie. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's the floater. And it's good on the layup. Kennard's got 5 now.
At this kind of range, it might almost be too easy for Kennard.
Just over 2.5 minutes gone by in the second half. Outside Reed. Launches it. Grizzlies with the rebound.
He had more than enough room to hit that. Just couldn't make it happen.
Pass to Kennard. And here's Clark. Sinks that one from the post. Clark's got his first 2 points of the night.
Yeah, you have to be so worried about Kennard's shot. That opens things up for others.
Here's Shannon, defended by Kennard. That one goes in. Shannon's got 8 points in the quarter.
And force-feeding the ball inside. I mean, no reason to go away from what's working.
They set the pick. Here's Kennard. Over to the left wing. Inside. Stolen by Reed. And now the T-Wolves on the break. Here's Miller. The shake. Out of bounds. It'll be Memphis' ball. And let's take this time to bring up the list of last season's elite shot blocking teams. Memphis, 4th, 5th best, Minnesota.
One look at last season's shot blocking numbers, and it's clear that these are two squads that love to play the physical game down in the paint. And their perimeter shooting numbers have been up since the start of the second half.
Outside Reed. And stolen by Williams. Pass to Kennard. Puts up a deep 3. That one is off. The Timberwolves lead by 10. Here's Alexander Walker. Here's Miller. And he lays it up and in.
The defense getting out-hustled on the putback. Can't let that happen.
And I can tell you from experience, these are the types of things that drive coaches crazy.
Pass to Kennard. And he takes that one up and powers it through.
And that's why you don't give up on the glass.
Man, his efforts well rewarded right there.
Well, that's what he does. He makes an impact with his activity on the board.
Reed, good.
Well, Reed has only become more confident as time has gone on at the arc. He will not hesitate.
Kennard outside. And no good. Trying to get that one to fall. And so it's the Minnesota Timberwolves in a good situation, up by 13. And a moment now as we take a look at our state. Farm assist of the game.
And from the two-guard spot, an unselfish play like this sets a fantastic tone.
Yeah, well, he looked like a pass-first point guard on this assist. Incredible instinct to feel the play develop and set up the score.
And with the fourth quarter upon us, time is running out for this game to become competitive. Ebb is at the 2 with McDaniels playing the 3. Julius Randle out there with Rudy Gobert. And it's DiVincenzo in at the 1. So that's the lineup from Minnesota. The punch from Gobert! And there's a bevy of young talent in the NBA right now. Who are you most excited to see grow into a star, Stan?
Well, what I'm really excited about, Brian, is to see which of these young talents becomes true stars, transformative guys. Certainly, Chet Holmgren and Wembanyama have already had this great rivalry. Scotty Barnes has become the next big point guard. We see Anthony Edwards, Paolo Banchero. There's a lot of guys that could be the guy, and it'll be fun to find out who actually develops into that play.
As the torch is passed, who's going to take the mantle? Grizzlies trail by 13. Kicks it out to Jackson. Jackson with a screen on Edwards. Morant, the pass to Jackson. Cranes the triple.
Yeah, I like the assertive approach from Jackson Jr. Not hesitating for a second off the catch.
Randle, a screen on Clark. Pass to Randle. Back to Edwards. Here's Randle. 6 on the shot clock. Now here's Edwards. And yep, it's good. Edwards has got 24 points.
Well, it might not be fair, but most nights we expect Edwards to put up big scoring numbers. That's what you ask of your stars.
Jackson with a screen on McDaniels. And here's Morant outside. And it's Gobert with a rebound. Gobert's got his 4th rebound in this one.
And they're +5 on the boards after that rebound.
And it's Randle with the jam.
Oh, Randle put some extra on that slam, entertaining the fans and the broadcasters.
And a bit of a battle for the ball. And the officials signal a jump ball here. Edwards with it, guarded by Morant. Morant against Edwards. Banked it in off the glass. Edwards got 4 points this quarter. And taking a quick look here at the hustle stats for Minnesota.
Well, they've shown just outstanding effort defensively, and it's resulted in several forced turnovers.
Well, another thing they've been doing right in this one is making the most of turnovers. Lots of points for them tonight off of them.
DiVincenzo, pass to Edwards. Back to DiVincenzo. Off target with the 3. And it's Bane with the ball for the Grizzlies. It's a 16-point game. Lets it go from deep. Nails it from 3.
Well, that's Bane's go-to zone. You can't let him have a look from there.
For Minnesota, they've gone 4 of 7 from the field in the fourth quarter. Here's Edwards. Oh, Edwards just pulling his way inside.
And just executing at a high level. I mean, taking what the defense allows and putting in the work.
Yeah, come on. They're just having their way out there and continuing to press the advantage.
And this one hasn't been in doubt for a bit now. They came out on a mission, and you can bag up this win for the Timberwolves.
Offensively, they made the most of their trips.
They found multiple ways to score consistently, and a little luck doesn't hurt them either. They also got some nice bounces off the rim tonight, too.
And so this win marks their first victory of the new year.
It took them a while to figure out the right approach, and now they'll head into their 4th and final meeting of the season with a chance to actually split the season series.
And of all the highlights and performances we've seen here tonight, the one thing that stands out is what an unbelievable night it's been for Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, you know, he was a man on a mission in this one. The defense had absolutely no answers for him tonight.
5 to shoot. Randle, a screen on Clark. Edwards It's deflected. And up the court come the Grizzlies on the break. Oh, there's Morant with the slam. DiVincenzo with it. Edwards looking it over. And Edwards slams it in.
Impressive job by this team. And you really can't discount the impact of this crowd here.
No, I'd be lying if I said the crowd doesn't have an impact. It's certainly felt from the head coach all the way down.
And there's a whistle. That's going to go on Brandon Clark. That's his first foul.
And just wasn't able to set up in time.
And Minnesota with possession here. Here's Randall. And it's Randall with the jam. Ooh, McDaniels with a steal. Here's Edwards. He takes it in. Oh, somehow misses the one-handed flush. And so it's Minnesota easily grabbing this one. This one was a fun one to watch. They were clearly in the driver's seat down the stretch.
They really were, B.A. They played with great intent.
K Sports. Just a quick look now at how the point totals have looked over the last several months for Anthony Edwards.
And it's really been a nice trend for him over these last several months. He's been steadily improving in terms of his scoring output. That extra production making him more valuable the further we get along in this season.
Let's check out Indiana's starting lineup. Siakam is the 4, and he'll be next to Turner at the 5. The backcourt, Halliburton and Mathurin. And it's Walker in at the 3 slot. And for the Timberwolves, Edwards on the wing. He's joined by McDaniel. Rudy Gobert is out there with Randall. And it's DiVincenzo in at the point guard position.
We always know this has been a strength of Rudy Gobert, getting the offensive window. Nicely done.
And the latest now from our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. David, it's all yours. Take it away.
I had a chance to catch up with Chris Finch. Now, in talking about Tyrese Halliburton, I wanted to know about the strategy for him out there. Coach said Halliburton is so quick and such a deft ball handler, I think it just comes down to keeping up with him, matching his pace, not letting him get one step ahead. So, that's the game plan. Back to you.
Thank you, David. And finished off by Siakam.
Well, the athletic ability of Pascal Siakam with a little sauce there.
Well, Doris, before he started playing basketball, Siakam was on the path to priesthood. And there are a lot of GMs in the NBA saying, amen, that he chose basketball.
Kevin, this young man actually attended a seminary and didn't pick up a basketball until he was 16. But even with that, he's built himself into an all-star and a champion. An incredible journey.
Now Turner, after Anthony Edwards missed from long range. Here's Halliburton. Got him with the pump fake, but couldn't finish. And here comes the break. It's Edwards on the wing. And that's an intentional foul.
Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. You know, maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
The first quarter of action, 2 minutes in. And stolen by Siakam. Here's Mathurin, coming off a solid outing against Minnesota. Turner with a screen for Mathurin. Outside Turner, and Siakam has it in the corner. 5 on the clock. And finished off by Siakam.
You have to love the aggression right there. He's got the vertical, might as well put it to good use.
Edwards against Halliburton. Randall a screen on Halliburton. Edwards drawing the double team. Here's Gobert, and finished off by Gobert.
This guy always amongst the league leaders in dunks. Gobert is a force around the cup.
Walker against Edwards. Walker the pass to Siakam. They get the rebound. Timberwolves trail by 3. And here's Edwards from the arc. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. Edwards got his second bucket of the night.
Well, the work that Anthony Edwards is putting in as a shooter is there. That range shot so important. Nice three-point look right there.
Kick out to Walker. To the paint. Here's Mathurin. Another shot. Outside Turner. Shoots the 3. Randall grabs the board.
He is too good a shooter, guys, to be left open like that. The defense just dodged a bullet there.
Pass to Edwards. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. And Greg, it didn't take long for Anthony Edwards to prove himself in the NBA.
There's so much to like about his game. And as outstanding as his offense is, his defense cannot be overlooked. He is a lockdown presence when he needs to be.
This is about the last guy you want to send to the stripe right now. They keep fouling him, and he keeps making them.
On its way from Turner for 2. That's good. It's Halliburton with the assist. Halliburton's got 3 assists in the game. Halliburton against Edwards. And Edwards slams it in.
Boy, defense has no answer for Anthony Edwards' athleticism. What a dunk.
Siakam kicks to Halliburton. Turner with a screen for Halliburton. And the layup is good.
Yeah, another nice bucket down low. They've really been able to work the ball into the post effectively here so far.
Oh, here's Edwards. He's got 9. Outside for Randall. A three-pointer, no good. Indiana's gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. And a wide open look for Walker. Hands it from downtown.
Boy, Pascal Siakam plays at his own pace, able to find the open man.
Out to Edwards. Fires from deep. Cranes the three-pointer. Edwards got 12 in the game.
Well, you can see it's a matter of pride out there for these guys.
Absolutely. When someone makes a shot, the first thought is, I want my own back.
Anthony Edwards has been leading. And getting going again here in the second quarter. Fairly close game so far. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Timberwolves?
They set a physical tone in the first, and that really showed on the backboard.
I think it's why they hold the lead here early, because they're controlling the flow of the game with those second chance opportunities.
On the court for the Pacers as our second quarter gets underway. The backcourt, Halliburton and Mathurin. Siakam is the 4, and he'll be next to Turner at the 5. And it's Walker in at the 3 spot. The Pacers shooting their first shots from the stripe in this game.
And at the line last season, about 78% as a team. Pretty solid numbers.
Greg, in January 2024, Pascal Siakam was traded out of Toronto.
And he came into the league an older player from a mid-major school. The Raptors did a lot to help Siakam, turning him into an all-NBA caliber player.
Halliburton feeling it out a bit. Back to Walker. To the left wing. Siakam inside. Edwards defending.
Well, this is the kind of shot we've come to expect him to make. He's got to be upset with that one.
DiVincenzo passes to Gobert. And that one drops for him. Gobert's got the lead up to 2 now for the Timberwolves.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Left side, Halliburton. Drills the three-pointer. Halliburton's got 7 points.
Well, it's been early in his career, but Tyrese Halliburton has proven to be extremely dangerous from range.
DiVincenzo kicks to McDaniel. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. And Mathurin has got the ball here for Indiana. And now we've got some time to check in from the sidelines. You got for us, DA?
Kevin, thanks very much. Tyrese Halliburton is a person who's in control. He says, I want to win, so I'm just trying to figure out the right way to do that. Right now, it's get the ball in my hands and just make the right reads. I can facilitate probably better than the majority of people in the league. So that's what I want to do. I want to get my guys involved. Kevin?
He does, doesn't he, David? Every single time. And, David, we thank you for that report. And so they choose to intentionally foul. Here we are early in the NBA season, and teams focus on situational awareness. Doris, what have you noticed so far this season?
Yeah, Kev, these situations are really all about execution, right? Are players poised in late clock situations? First of all, do they recognize where the shot clock is? Can they adeptly and quickly read defenses? So those are some of the things I'm watching for.
And Gobert kicks to Edwards. Randall a screen on Walker. Here's Edwards. Rejected by Walker.
An impactful defender. The young forward Walker is good at reading shooters and just stifling their offense.
And finished off by Walker.
Oh, and he went for the two-hander on the slam, using some muscle.
Some urgency from him there, sure. Out to Edwards. Has to Gobert. Edwards against Mathurin. Edwards dishes to Gobert. Back to Edwards. Randall with a screen for Edwards. The Timberwolves need to get a shot off here. Randall no good.
And this is exactly what you have to do to stop him. That was a tremendous contest, forcing the miss.
Back to Edwards. And here in the second quarter of action, as we approach 4 minutes played, Gobert gets the bucket.
Really nice decision making by Anthony Edwards. If you're going to play in the NBA, you've got to read off pick and roll action.
And when you think back to that Sabonis-Halliburton trade, Doris, it really worked out for both teams.
It's rare, Kevin, that you can talk about a, quote, win-win for both sides. Most trades are a little bit harder to evaluate because they involve more moving pieces. This was a straight-up one-to-one swap of young stars and positional fits for each side.
And the call on the... And, yep, we thought we might see it. And the coach's challenge has...
First team foul. At the line for 2.
Where the officials can review in closer detail what constituted the original personal foul. Getting a different angle can sometimes make it a lot easier to determine.
Indeed, and the one thing with replay review is that when you see the slow motion replays, you really get a new appreciation for just the immense speed at which these players are moving and how fast the action really is and how hard it can be sometimes, Greg, to make the right call. And the announcement on the review is that the foul was called in error. So they have determined to overrule the original call.
And guys, this is what it's all about, getting the call right. And I think in this case, the video review showed that while it was a tough call to make on the floor, they got it right with the review.
There's a 4-second difference from the shot clock to the game clock, and the foul called on Pascal Siakam. That's his first foul. There's 18 seconds left in the first half. Edwards, a screen on Walker. McDaniels passes to Edwards. And trying for the go-ahead basket, it doesn't go in. Mathurin with the ball. Turner with the screen for Mathurin. And that shot was up in time, but doesn't go in. And that's it for the first half of action. What's been a very close game here. Pacers out in front. They lead by a bucket. From Target Center, back in a moment.
Well, they've been the more measured team, passing up good shots for great ones.
Yeah, they've been aggressive, but also disciplined.
All right, fellas. And that's a halftime wrap.
And we've got second half action for you. Thus far, a pretty evenly contested game. Anthony Edwards has been exceptional here, guys.
Yeah, he's just been raining down on them from deep here. Talk about dialed in.
Well, he's in a great rhythm, looking comfortable and confident.
We've got Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Miller is out there with Naz Reid. And it's Shannon in at the 1 spot. So that's the lineup for Minnesota. Here's Nesmith. Misses the 3, and he used the pump fake well there, but he couldn't capitalize. Pass to Reid. Alexander Walker on the wing. Emard covering. And he uses the glass on the layup. Alexander Walker's got the game tied up here for the Timberwolves. And when you look at Alexander Walker, Doris, so consistent from year to year.
This is a young man who knows his role, finds ways to help the team within the context of what the stars are doing. And those are exactly the kind of role players you need in order to have a quality basketball team.
Reid with it, and it's Toppin picking him up. An intentional foul committed, but for what purpose, Greg? I'm not sure.
A scene of confusion right there. I can't imagine why he thought it was a good idea to foul there.
And so it looks like the Timberwolves will retain possession here.
Active hands from him as he's able to deflect that pass out of bounds.
Well, that's what you call a game of inches. They talk about it in football. We see it right there.
Just 4 to shoot. Here's Alexander Walker. Up and in on the layup.
Important points there. Got him on a nice play, getting the ball inside and right to the bucket.
That one falls. And the Pacers lead by 2.
Yeah, the D has not been able to keep the ball out of the paint at that end of the floor.
Driving inside. Why not? A great 1-2 punch. Beautiful pass and nasty jam.
Oh, just solid on the one-handed slam.
And guys, when it's a tight ball game like this, he's the guy they want with the ball.
Yeah, way to get there first and be willing to absorb the contact.
2 minutes into the second half of play now. To the inside. It's stolen by Shepard. Pass to Nemo. Over to the wing. Shot clock at 5. To the middle. A good finish at the rack off the slick feed. Nemard's got his second bucket of the game to go.
Boy, everyone is getting to their spots and then capitalizing. 3 for 4 in the quarter. Beautiful.
Now, Alexander Walker. Inside. Minot can't get it to go. You know, Greg, when you look at the Timberwolves' history, the first round had been a problem for them. But not last year, as they swept the Phoenix Suns.
And you gotta look at it as being a tremendous success, right? Because going into the season, I don't know that anyone thought they would have made it to the conference finals. But boy, that young group gelled well together, and the sky's the limit for the future.
Well, the defense deserves to get burned. Absolutely no excuse for leaving him open.
Shepard, the pass to Nesmith. There's a good screen. There's the triple. A rebound by the Timberwolves. Following this one, they get to host the Pelicans. Second half here. We're just over 3.5 minutes into it. Here's Alexander Walker. Nemard covering. A shot by Alexander Walker, no good. And so Bryant will bring it up for Indiana. They lead by 1.
My goodness, Toppin puts on a show. What a special dunker this guy is.
There's 53 seconds left in the third quarter. Back to Alexander Walker. Lets it go with the 3. Nailed from three-point land. Alexander Walker's got it all tied up now for the Timberwolves. Here's Nemard. 6 points for him. Toppin can't get it to go. .23 seconds left in the third quarter. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. Alexander Walker with the ball. He's got 10 for the lead, and the layup's good off the glass. Alexander Walker's got the lead up to 2 now for the Timberwolves.
Well, use the pick and going right to the cup. I love the aggressiveness. There is an imagination, a creativity. This guy's passing drives the offense.
That shot off the mark. Tie game in Minnesota. And do not go away. And a worthy candidate tonight as we take a look at our State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, and I like the fact we get to see this pass one more time. A magnificent feed. And you love to see your off guard taking over the playmaking duties with this much skill.
You love the unselfishness, finding the best look, and it doesn't matter who's taking it.
And with 3 quarters behind us, we start the fourth quarter in what is still anybody's ball game. On the court for Indiana, Siakam is out there with Bradley. Then it's Walker. Then there's Tyrese Halliburton. And it's Furphy in at the 2 spot. And with an update from the sidelines, let's check in with David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin, I heard Rick Carlisle during that last break talking with the team. He told them this is what it's all about, proving we're the better team in the tough situation. But you got to want it. Coach told his guys they have what it takes to win here. Guys, back to you.
All right, thank you, David. Edwards, screen on Mathurin. And finished off by Edwards.
Oh, a little sauce. Anthony Edwards rise high and finish over the defender.
And finished off by Halliburton.
Big hops from the backcourt.
Oh, absolutely. And maybe just what they need to get this game, GA, going in their direction.
Boy, as tight as this one is, that's a statement play saying, hey, listen, we're not here to back down from you guys.
It's so good off the bounce. Edwards working on his shot off the catch, and it is paying off.
Stolen by McDaniels. On the wing, DiVincenzo. Covered by Siakam. Here's Edwards. Going.
Oh, and he got fancy with that one.
Yeah, maybe trying to give them the momentum boost they need to break this game open. Halliburton finds Turner. Turner with a screen on Randall. Back to Turner. Halliburton outside. 6 to shoot. Pass to Turner. Indiana needs to get a shot off. Three-pointer. He misses his third shot of the game. He has made 6 of his 9. Minnesota in the lead. DiVincenzo passes to Edwards. Edwards getting the close range, too.
I think his teammates understand that Anthony Edwards has every aspect of his offensive game working, so let's make sure he's got the basketball.
And Edwards with a clear path to the basket. And finished off by Edwards.
And that couldn't have gone better for them right there. Forget about playing it safe. They're looking to finish this thing off in style.
Foul beyond the arc, and it looks like, yep, it's a coach's challenge on the personal foul.
And this is the time now where the officials can review in closer detail what constituted the original personal foul. Getting a different angle can sometimes make it a lot easier to determine.
Indeed, and the one thing with replay review is that when you see the slow motion replay, you really get a new appreciation for just the immense speed at which these players are moving and how fast the action really is and how hard it can be sometimes, Greg, to make the right call. And the announcement on the review is that the foul was called in error. So they have determined to overrule the original call.
And guys, this is what it's all about, getting the call right. And I think in this case, the video review showed that while it was a tough call to make on the floor, they got it right with the review. Boy, you can just see the frustration growing on their faces. Nothing going their way.
It's just been one of those games, and they need to find a way to turn it around before it gets completely away from them.
Offensive rebound. In the corner, it's DiVincenzo. With the teardrop. And it's Mathurin with the rebound. Pacers trail by 8. Pass to Siakam. Siakam sends a screen for Mathurin. Back to Siakam. And Siakam throws it down.
A high-level athlete with underrated burst. Siakam continues to impress with his ability to finish.
Edwards with the screen. DiVincenzo kicks to Edwards. The muscle from Edwards.
And that strength and concentration from Anthony Edwards. Yes, there's contact. Doesn't bother him.
Here's Halliburton. Got it. Number 7 on the night. 7 for 11 from the floor.
Fearless move by Tyrese Halliburton. The game is complete and the mind is ready.
Halliburton against Edwards. Driving, it's Edwards. Basket good. Edwards got the lead up to 8 now for the Timberwolves.
Relentless in their approach, even with the game firmly in hand.
This is a textbook example of playing the possession and not the score. This team is doing a great job continuing to execute.
DiVincenzo passes to Edwards. There's 31 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And Edwards slams it in.
Every aspect of Anthony Edwards' game is on display. This guy has been cooking from the outset.
It's in! And now they trail by just 4.
And if you're the guy who has to guard him, it is never going to be an easy night for you.
And they commit an intentional foul. We'll see another one of those so they can get into the penalty. 16 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. And now we've got the intentional foul.
Yeah, you have to do that, though. You can't just let him dribble the game.
He hits the first one, and that puts them up by 5. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 6-point ball game.
Well, what a performer this guy is. Game is on the line. He stands up and delivers.
Turner passes to Siakam. And there's the call on Rudy Gobert. That's his first foul.
First team foul. In for the Wolves.
And a wide open look for Halliburton. No good on the quick 3. And so the Timberwolves take the win. They didn't make it easy on themselves. Much appreciated, David. And that about wraps it up. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke.
of the NBA. Now we have a moment to look at how the blocks have been stacking up over the past several months for Miles Turner.
We're just not seeing the same tenacity from him on the defensive end lately. He hasn't been blocking as many shots over the last few months, and I think it's made him a little less intimidating under the hoop.
And now Indiana's starting group. Siakam at power forward with Turner in at center. Halliburton runs point with Mathurin flanking him. And it's Walker in at the 3, the small forward. And for the Grizzlies, manning the backcourt, we'll see Morant and Bane. Marvin Bagley is out there with Jackson, and it's Jackson in at the 3. Shots good by Morant, and it's opening night. Great to be here with you, Clark.
Always great to be with you as well, B.A. And this is perhaps my favorite night of the year when you talk about the NBA opening night. So much excitement, so much anticipation, and we know the rest of the season will deliver.
To the right side, clock at 6, and here's Siakam for 3, sinks the tray.
A guy who can work the whole arc. Smooth corner shot by Pascal.
And so it's Morant who brings up the ball for the Memphis Grizzlies. It's a 3-point game. Misses the 3. Indiana on offense. Last time they met was in Indianapolis.
Well, in this last matchup, they captured the win in large part because their backups provided a lot of the scoring punch.
Yeah, and you know what? I expect them to go deep into the bench again tonight, to give those guys on the bench a chance to have an expanded role, but also to give those starters some rest.
Good on both. And when it comes to the Grizzlies, they're a team that's hungry to take that next step, Grant.
Yeah, and they've got the core to do it, B.A. You got Morant, Bane, and Jackson. They're all all-star caliber players and still in their mid-20s. So they've got a lot of great chemistry and time to get it right.
The Grizzlies have gone 1 for 3 so far. Bane surveying the D. Pass to Jackson. Jackson outside. And again, it's Memphis missing.
And maybe they're a little too excited today. They need to settle down. They've opened up 1 for 4.
Hey, if you throw it up there, Miles Turner is going to find it and finish it.
Memphis has gone 0 for 2 from outside. Morant against Walker. And the foul on Tyrese Halliburton. That's his first foul of the game.
First team foul.
Halliburton against Bane. Jackson with a screen on Halliburton. Shot clock at 6. Bane, the pass to Morant. They need this.
You know, he just has not been himself this period. Just too inconsistent up and down at the offensive end.
1 of 5 to start the game. They have to slow down and just play their brand of basketball. Nice slam by the big man Walker, making his presence felt there inside.
And again, it's Memphis missing. Pacers leading by 9. Gives us a chance to catch up with Allie LaForce.
Taylor Jenkins gave me a few minutes to catch up with him. We talked about this matchup here tonight, specifically what his team wants to do against Miles Turner. Coach told me we need to push him out of the paint whenever we can and make him a jump shooter and live with those results. If we can do that, I think we'll be in great shape. Guys, back to you.
Good job there, Allie. Thanks. Well, Clark, talking about Benedict Mathurin. He's another great young Canadian player.
Yeah, they've got a ton of them coming from north of the border, PA. I mean, Mathurin, you got R.J. Barrett, SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I mean, at this point, you could probably fill a couple of rosters with high-level players that come from Canada.
And that's Morant for you. Not settling. When he sees the opening, he goes for it.
Mathurin passes to Siakam. We've got 1:28 left to play in the first quarter. Count it from distance.
The big story thus far, how well they've shot the rock.
Very high percentage so far, and if you want to start a game hot, that's the way to do it.
Morant. Oh, touch off the glass. Morant's got 6.
Morant not afraid to get in there and play big, showing his toughness in close.
And so Jackson Jr. will bring it up for Memphis. Trailing by 10. Pass to Jackson. Outside Morant. And then Morant with the dunk.
Oh, the vertical of Morant is simply incredible. I mean, he's fantastic at using it to his advantage on the inside.
Now here's Siakam. 6 points for him. Here's Turner. Lets the three fly. And there's Siakam. That one's good. On the assist by Turner. Turner's got his third assist of the night. Now 8 seconds separating the two clocks. Morant, the pass to Jackson. And so he draws the foul, headed to the line to shoot a pair. And they'll give that one to Miles Turner.
And great poise there from Jackson. He's getting crowded by the defender, but stays cool and takes the foul.
And so Jackson nails both of them. Pacers leading by 9. Now here's Halliburton. And the dunk by Halliburton.
Building a big advantage early with a terrific all-around performance.
Yeah, you know, they've had the advantage at both ends. They've got all the momentum early on.
Hits the trifecta. 11 points in the game.
Yeah, the quickness of Morant makes him tough to cover. He's able to pull up on a moment's notice.
There's a screen by Turner. Siakam outside. It could go. Oh, it would have counted had it fallen, but it is offline. No shortage. And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we played through 1 quarter of action so far. And a chance for just a second to check out the scoring breakdown for Indiana.
You know, so far in this one, these guys have been knocking it down from distance. You've got to like their confidence as this game continues. They're on a nice roll.
Man, they're just having their way, bullying the other team in the painted area, imposing their will down there whenever they want.
And the Pacers looking at who they've got. Halliburton runs point with Mathurin flanking him. Siakam at power forward with Turner in at center. And it's Walker in at the small forward position.
Once Ja Morant gets rolling, there is no stopping him. Ja is feeling it tonight.
And the Pacers started last season all offense, Grant, but even they knew that would not be sustainable.
Yeah, Coach Carlisle prodded them to at least get to average on the defensive end. And there's no question they have the tools to do it.
Here's Morant following the bucket by the Pacers. Oh, Morant sinks the triple.
Yeah, Morant showing a bit of confidence knocking down that three.
Here's Halliburton. Oh, a special move before that shot. Halliburton's got 7 now in this quarter.
And just not letting up at all. I mean, you have to love this approach. You want to get the ball to the guys who make plays.
If it's working, keep working it. That's what I say. Keep the pressure on.
Siakam pulls down the board.
Come on. If you're going to go for the crazy dunk, you better finish it.
From deep. And the rebound goes to the Grizzlies. Now approaching 2 minutes of action here in the second. Jackson right side. The three ball. After missing his first attempt, now 1 for 2.
Yeah, impressive vision from Bane. Always looking to move it.
Halliburton looking for an opening. Siakam outside. Offensive board. Mathurin. Goes back up. And the Pacers tack on 2 more.
Sometimes it's simple. Put the ball in the hands of your scorers and let them do what they do best.
Back to Morant. Puts up a 3. The rebound by Turner.
And, you know, the defense to me looked like they were okay to let him prove he could make that shot.
Halliburton, the pass to Turner. The 3 is up. Drops in the 3. And now it's a 12-point Pacer lead.
Really like it when Turner squares up from outside because he's got a sweet stroke, and because of his size, hard for defenders to get to the shot, and it also stretches the floor, which is good for his team.
And one thing that Morant has always been elite at, finding a seam in a defense and getting to the rim, Grant.
Yeah, any crack allows him to get inside. And as good as anyone at splitting a double, which he sees a lot of. So once inside, he can finish with authority or kick it out to a shooter.
All right, let's get a report from Allie.
Brian, Miles Turner, the 11th pick by the Pacers in 2015 for much of his career with the team. He's endured the trade rumors. He said, "I've still got PTSD from that, but I wanted to be here in Indy." And last season, a renegotiation of his contract, giving him an extension and a raise. Ryan, he is locked in as their starting center.
Yeah, it would appear so, Allie. Thank you. Bain against Walker. Second chance effort. And count the basket. He was fouled, and he's going to the line for one more. First trip to the free throw line for him tonight.
And in their last game, he really distinguished himself at the free throw line.
Matter of fact, a lot of his points came from the stripe. He was feeling it. And guys, if a game was coming down to the wire and an opponent needed to foul, I mean, he was the guy they wanted with the ball in his hands. I mean, shooting the free throws because of his proficiency there. In the first quarter, he was killing them from outside. But he can't get it going here.
And that's 2 fouls for him so far. But I still think he needs to stay aggressive.
This is his first opportunity at the line this evening.
The boundless athleticism Morant has is really special. He's someone that is always in attack mode.
Free throw shooting is about mechanics, confidence, and your mental approach. He's locked in from there most every night.
Another shot. Kicks it out to Siakam. There's the triple. Memphis with a rebound. Bain's got 4 rebounds in the game.
It's been an ugly quarter for him. Trying to shoot his way out of it. Might be time to work on the playmaking skills. The execution has been better lately. But do they have enough energy to pull it off?
This game was in danger of getting away from him. They've made a nice push to keep it close. Boy, he strikes again from range. His 4th in this game after draining 3 in the first period.
Here's Morant. Look at Morant work in the paint. Nice.
It's obvious he's taking it upon himself to try and keep them alive.
Siakam outside. Back to Halliburton. Outside Mathurin. Offline with a 3.
And they've been able to maintain this lead despite his inconsistency from the field.
And here's Morant outside. The rebound by Turner. Turner's got his 4th rebound in this one. 3-pointer Mathurin. Pure from 3-point range. Mathurin's got 7 points.
Oh, nice feed. On time and on target.
Here's Morant. And the layup is good off the glass.
They're punishing those late defensive rotations, getting good looks inside throughout the half.
And stolen by Morant. Got it off in time. That'll do it for the first half. It's the Pacers leading by 6. All right, now let's check in with it. All right, Allie, thanks for that. We will see everyone right back after this break, ready for the second half.
Fellas, I was just wondering if you played in the league these days, what do you think would be different compared to when you... Now let's take some time to talk about our game. And Pascal Siakam, he had a half to remember. Thanks for joining us.
We've got second half action for you, and if the next couple of quarters are similar to the first, this one could go down to the last possession. Oh, a fantastic game from Ja Morant in this one.
Yeah, tonight he's done a great job of slashing through the lane and finishing.
Yeah, you know what, guys? They gave him too many free runs to the hoop in the first half. I think they've got to be a lot tougher on him. Body him up. Be physical with him.
Vince Williams is out there with Luke Kennard. Then it's Edey. Then it's Brandon Clark. And it's Wells in at the 3. That's the lineup in the game for Memphis. Just 5 on the clock. Memphis needs to get off a shot. Well, Clark, as we know, player comparison is a popular exercise among fans and analysts alike.
Yeah, I've never really ascribed to that, but in this day and age, I think it's even more unfair to do so because the game has changed tremendously. I mean, three-point attempts and scoring averages are way north, in large part because of the pace of play. So the game has changed, and that means when you're comparing players, it's a little harder to do in a fair manner.
12 straight points off threes. This defense is not extending very well.
You know, they're having free reign from beyond the arc. The defense is just not there.
Playing from behind, it's amazing he chose a dunk with that high a difficulty rating.
Yeah, no question. That was a stellar move with plenty of swagger.
I don't care what the score is there, fellas. That's the play we'll remember from this game, clearly.
And a slam dunk by Toppin.
Getting elevated is something Toppin has no problem with. Give him airspace at your own peril.
Kennard outside. From outside, off the mark.
Nice rebound. Trying to match the other team's intensity right now.
And that's a good place to start if you're going to try to find your way back into this game. Get to work on the glass.
Williams with it. Now guarded by Bryant. Williams, that's good. Williams has gotten himself going with a triple. His first basket of the game.
Hey, you leave him open, he's going to make the defense pay for that level of disrespect.
Here's Shepard. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Shepard's got 5 now.
Soft interior D, and they've exploited it.
The deep 3 from Kennard. It's rebounded by Indiana. Just under 2.5 minutes into this third quarter now. Takes a 3. Nembhard, good. And the Pacers lead by 14.
The defense is nowhere to be found guarding the three-point shot.
Kennard outside from deep three-point land. Can't get it to drop.
Putting up a goose egg, bageled this period. At this point, you have to run the offense through somebody else. I mean, that's your only choice.
Toppin outside. Nesmith on the wing. Second chance shot. Clark grabs the board.
He expects to make every one of those, and we expect him to make them too.
After 3 straight playoff appearances, the Grizzlies sadly missed the postseason in 2024, Grant.
You know, really, by no fault of their own, BA. Injuries ruined what fans were hoping would be a big year for them. You know, it just goes to show there's no safe bets in this league.
Pass to Nembhard. The 3. And no good. Grizzlies trail by 12. Here's Wells. Kennard outside. They set a pick. Here's Edey. Nesmith covering. And down it goes. Jam that one home.
That's a textbook example of how to move the ball. Boy, you got to love that action.
Woo! Defensively, you can't afford to let him get to the rim that easily.
Well, that might be why their deficit is what it is right now.
You know, you look at it, the communication is lacking, as is the trust. They can ill afford those types of breakdowns. It won't work. You can't win with those kind of breakdowns.
Their strategy has been pretty simple here in the second half. Attack from three-point range.
Certainly. I mean, they saw a weakness in the perimeter defense and took advantage of it.
Williams from long range. On target from range. Williams has got 6 points in the quarter.
Gotta fight harder to get over those screens.
Well, I'm going to credit the screen. I mean, that's a good, strong pick he lays there.
Here's Nembhard. Memphis with a rebound.
You got to move past that one. I mean, they'd want him to take that again.
Well, you know, I hear you. That's a good look, but when you're that wide open, I think you got to knock it down.
And that's a defensive lapse. A shooter of his caliber can't be left wide open.
Just 2 seconds between the shot clock and the game clock. And Nesmith, here we go. Kicks it out to Bryant from behind the arc. The rebound by Edey. Now here's Williams. He's guarded by Nembhard. Outside, Williams. Fires the 3. That misses. Would have counted had it gone. And so it's Indiana. They have a nice 9. Rick Carlisle had some advice for his team.
Hey, look, you can score, but we're getting seduced.
The fourth quarter has arrived. So good to have you with us. And the Pacers looking at who they've got. Siakam at power forward with Turner in at center. Halliburton runs point with Mathurin flanking him. And it's Walker in at the small forward position. Sinks it from distance.
Now you have to extend that defense. I mean, you really have to stay connected to him at all times.
Yeah, especially with the score being what it is. I mean, you got to tighten it up on D.
Here we go. Siakam for three. Memphis with a rebound. Bane's got 5 rebounds in the game. Pass to Jackson. Beyond the arc. Rebounded by Halliburton. Halliburton's got 4 rebounds now. Walker for 3. 4-3. That drops. And it comes off an assist from Siakam. Siakam's got 3 assists tonight.
No hesitation. Nice work by Walker, not overthinking it.
Oh, it's stolen by Siakam. In transition. Bane against Halliburton. Back to Siakam for 3. Another 3 for Indiana. And guys, what do you think about the hustle stats for the Pacers?
You have to be a fan of the energy they've played with on the defensive end. Active hands and feet, and it's come up big a few times for them.
And I love the fact they kept the pressure on, really pushing that ball, running it up the floor. I love seeing that. A team staying aggressive even when they're playing well.
Mathurin with the ball. Check by Bagley. And it's Mathurin missing.
Every player goes through this. When your shots aren't going down, it can ding your confidence.
And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Jackson. On offense, here are the Pacers. They're rolling here. 9 unanswered.
Not himself from range right now, but the only way out of this funk is to keep trying.
Moran against Mathurin. Bane, the pass to Moran. Here's the 3. Indiana with a rebound. Turner's got his 6th rebound on the night. Indiana leading by 18. On the wing, Mathurin gets the 3 to fall.
Their ball movement on this run has been tremendous. It's led to a lot of good, clean, open looks.
And then Morant with the dunk.
What a finish. I mean, he just took over himself.
What a show of power right there from the point guard. Man, sweet.
And you know, guys, when your point guard is making explosive plays at the rim, I really do think it sets the tone for the rest of the team.
Here's Siakam. Outside for Halliburton. 4 on the clock. Siakam outside. From the arc. And it's Bane with the rebound. Bane's got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. Jackson outside. Pass to Jackson. That's tipped. Stolen by Siakam. Walker for 3. Up again. It's good on the putback. And the Pacers lead by 21.
How about Halliburton getting his hands dirty, going in there, crashing the offensive glass. Love the versatility.
Here's Bagley. Outside for Moran. Fires from deep. Indiana with a rebound. Walker with it. Jackson in his pocket.
And what a complete performance we saw from them. A dominant win in every way for the Pacers.
And it was a big-time performance across the board. They looked like they were having fun out there, Grant.
Yeah, B.A., it was almost like watching a cat play with a mouse. I mean, they did pretty much anything they wanted to do out there today.
And so this win marks their first victory of the new year.
And big-time bragging rights won today. Just grabbing that season series.
Sure did. I mean, this means they'll come out on top in the season series, 2 games to 1 now. Got to be happy about that.
And when you look at the game, the one thing that helped fuel this team to victory was the efficiency for Pascal. Oh, are you kidding me? Wow, man. The Pacers shooting at a reasonable 46% this fourth. Pass to Siakam. Fires the 3. Great D that time from Bane. And so it's Moran who brings up the ball for the Grizzlies. 19-point game. And then Morant with the dunk. And here's Indiana now. Their biggest lead of the game was 21. Drills it from deep.
They really came in with the right mindset today. I can guarantee you their flight home will be filled with some...
Oh, wow! Oh, watch out! Big finish. 3 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Kicks it out to Siakam. 16 seconds left to play in the fourth quarter of this one. Launches a three. Memphis with a rebound. And so it's the Pacers taking care of business in this one. This one wasn't even close. The hometown. All right, Allie, good stuff there. Thanks for that. And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Allie LaForce, Clark Kellogg.
Welcome, everybody. And a look here at the scoring trend over the last several months for Naz Reid.
And it's really been a nice trend for him over these last several months. He's been steadily improving in terms of his scoring output. That extra production making him more valuable the further we get along in this season.
And the starting lineup for the Timberwolves. Edwards on the wing. He's joined by McDaniel. Randall out there with Rudy Gobert. And it's DiVincenzo in at the point guard position. And for Memphis, Morant is the point with Bane out on the wing. Clark is out there with Jaren Jackson. And it's Bagley in at the 5 spot.
And how about the athleticism from Edwards rocketing off the drive there for the slam.
The 3 from Morant from beyond the arc and then some. And this season's still very young. Greg, what are you looking forward to this year?
Well, Kevin, I'm always interested in the rookies, seeing which guys step up. The leap to the NBA can be a huge one, so you never know what will happen with some of these young players.
Boy, he is looking confident. Love how they're using him so far.
Yeah, when he gets engaged this early in the game, it's bad news for the defense. He can roll this start throughout the rest of the game.
Yes, that goes in. Morant's got 5.
Good D sometimes just isn't enough against Ja Morant.
Time now to turn to our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. David.
Thank you, Kevin. Well, a bit ago, Taylor Jenkins and I were able to chat. And we talked about the tall task of facing Anthony Edwards. Coach said he is so physical. Ant looks more like a linebacker than a wing, so we can't foul Edwards too much. That's playing right into his hands. So they'll try to play him tight without sending him to the line. Not easy to do. Back to you guys.
Thanks, David. Greg, this is some kind of night. Last year, Minnesota, for just the second time, had ever won a series in the postseason.
Yeah, they've been bounced in the first round, 10 of 12 appearances. But last year's team was different. Their elite defense fueled the conference finals run.
Good on the triple.
And early on, they've been nearly perfect from the floor. Just the one miss here on their first 5 attempts.
In the corner, it's Bane. Bagley with a screen on DiVincenzo. Here's Bane. Rudy Gobert with the rebound.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there. The D just kind of stepping aside and letting him get to the rim.
There's a reason, GA, the lead is what it is right now.
Yeah, it's going to take better rim protection than that if they're going to climb out of this hole.
Here's Jackson after the basket by Minnesota. Doesn't go for him.
I'm shocked that didn't turn into 3 points. I mean, he makes you pay on those nearly every time.
To the paint. Here's Gobert. It's rebounded by Memphis.
2 minutes remaining.
Morant with a wide open look. And a miss there on the triple.
Yeah, that's a shame because I'm not sure the defense will let him get a shot that good again very soon.
Edwards can't hit. The Grizzlies trail by 5. And finished off by Morant.
Oh, one thing about Ja, he's determined.
For Minnesota, they've gone 5 of 8 from the field, shooting over 62%. Great open look there. Edwards got 7 points.
Outstanding start from 3-point range. Their shooters are on fire.
And they double up Morant. Outside, Bagley. Tried to come right back with the 3 of his own, but it's no good. DiVincenzo against Morant, and the whistle blows. It's going to be on Ja Morant. That's his first foul.
Yeah, clearly he had an established position there.
1:11 left here in the opening quarter. And Randall throws it down.
Not enough defense there. Allowing Randall to get that close is a recipe for disaster.
It's Morant with the drop. And they pick up 2. He's got 9.
His accuracy is on another level this quarter. Really high quality shooting.
Now here's Edwards. He's got 7. There's 39 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Here's Gobert. Well, it was only a matter of time, but they finally get the bucket.
And the story here, Kevin, early on is how well they've shot the basketball.
And so Morant will bring it up for the Memphis Grizzlies. 8-point game. A 3-ball. That's another one for him. His 5th in just 7 shots.
And even though they're down, it's not on him. He's been lights out on offense for them this quarter especially.
Back to McDaniel. The Timberwolves working the ball around now. Gobert with a screen for Edwards. Gets the three-pointer to fall.
Edwards makes it dueling three-pointers, showing some leadership, getting that one back.
Outside for Jackson. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. The Grizzlies shooting their first free throws of the night right here. And he knocks down the first one. Both free throws good from Jackson. Anthony Edwards has been leading the charge for the Minnesota Timberwolves. He got... And hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. Halfway through the first half in this one. And a chance for just a second to check out the scoring breakdown for Minnesota.
They've really been dialed in from deep. This is a team that has a ton of confidence in their outside shooting ability.
And I've really liked how they've moved the ball tonight. Because of this selfless approach, they are piling up the assists.
Morant is the point with Bane out on the wing. Jackson is out there with Brandon Clark. And it's Bagley in at the pivot, panning the middle. That's the group for Memphis to kick off the second quarter.
Oh, nice read there from Edwards. He's all for sharing the wealth.
After earning the #2 seed in the 2023 playoffs, Richard, last season was a lost year because of all those injuries and other things in Memphis.
Ja Morant only played 9 games last year. Desmond Bane missed half the year. Marcus Smart out. The Grizzlies still have a lot of young talent and a very bright future.
Now here's DiVincenzo. Here's Clark. Outside for Jackson. Pass to Morant. And now they decide to foul intentionally.
You're not sure what that was about. I mean, talk about a brain cramp.
Quarter number 2 with just over a minute gone. Jackson, a screen on McDaniels. Shot clock at 6. Here's Morant. It falls for his 7th bucket of the contest. He's 7 for 9.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
It's time now to hear from our Hall of Fame reporter, David Aldridge. What's the latest, David?
Kevin, thank you very much. Jaden McDaniels has become an X factor for the Wolves. Mike Conley says, we know what he does defensively, but the offense that he can bring for us balances our unit. It's much needed. Guys tend not to think of him as an offensive player, but he does have that in his game. Kevin?
But I love the reference to an X factor. He definitely is that. All right, David, thank you. There's Jackson with the 3. A three-pointer is right on target. Jackson's got 7 points in the game.
A big man who does it all. That is Jaren Jackson Jr. looking confident at the arc.
Out to Edwards. Wants to get it to Randall and does. Bagley against Edwards. Shoots. Here's Gobert. And the rejection by Jackson. In the corner, it's Bane. A miss that time. Would have put him up.
And gotta like what they've been doing down low in the post.
And Richard, when it comes to Jaren Jackson, there's a lot to appreciate. My goodness.
Oh, I love that he can guard 1 through 5. Really a modern defensive NBA big man. He can go back to the basket or he can face up. He doesn't need the ball to make a huge impact.
There's Morant. Anthony Edwards making his last shot. Clark outside. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. It's on Anthony Edwards. And awards now have a minimum amount of games needed to qualify. An interesting twist in this whole story.
Yeah, and it seems logical because of the uproar from the fans and the media that they implement this. And how can you be that impactful in reality, though, if you only play half the year?
Edwards at the rim.
An agile move off the contact by Edwards, getting to his shot despite the difficult defense.
Here's Morant. Outside for Jackson. Good, and a nice assist from Morant. Morant's got 3 assists in the game. DiVincenzo with it. Now defended by Bain. Randle outside. Here's DiVincenzo. We saw him with 19 points his last outing. McDaniels against Morant. Offensive rebound. Gobert. A second chance effort. No basket with that shot. Having trouble finding his range. He's 1 for 5. Morant surveying the D. And that won't go, missing the go-ahead bucket. The Timberwolves have gone just 33% from the field in what's been a cold second quarter for them. Just 3 of 9. McDaniels against Bain. Morant with the steal. Jackson from long range. They get it again.
And the game Bagley has reminds me a little bit of Chris Bosh, a sweet lefty who plays with force and passion.
The Grizzlies shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game. And they now lead as the free throw drops for him. Minnesota's gone 1 of 2 on 3-pointers here in the second quarter so far. DiVincenzo kicks to Gobert. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. DiVincenzo against Morant. Elbow shot is on the way. Bagley with the rebound. Morant with it. There's the drive. And finished off by Morant.
Oh, I dunk you very much.
He can really fly, and you combine that, Greg, with some nice penetration, too, and you've got 2 points. And some good action through the first 2 quarters as we reach halftime. Grizzlies out in front as they end the second quarter with a massive 16-7 run. Live from the FedEx Forum, you're watching
Taking a look at Memphis. I've always loved when I started the season at home. I'd be eating good, I'd be dominating down low, I'd be picking up that big old dub.
So, Shaq, how many of those Game 1 home openers? Changing gears now. Fellas, we need to talk about how dominant Ja Morant looked in that first half.
He's been hunting for a shot.
And that concludes...
And as we get into this third quarter, as we've seen so far, neither team able to create much separation on the scoreboard yet. Guys, Ja Morant has been sensational.
He's done a fantastic job of finding open space to operate within the first few quarters.
I like how they came into this one with a game plan, and they're just going out and executing it. Terrific job.
On the court for Minnesota, Miller is out there with Naz Reid. Then it's Nickeil Alexander-Walker. And it's Minot in at the 3. Stripped away. Here's Shannon. Kennard covering. And it's Miller with the jam.
Just no chance there for the defense. Major size disadvantage. He's got no business trying to stop that slam. Just get out of the way.
First personal foul. First team foul.
Jackson setting the pick here for Kennard. Fires for 3. Rebounded by the Timberwolves. Following this one, they get to host the Pelicans. That game marks the first half of a quick 2-game homestand. Pass to Minot. Miller with the ball. Here's Minot. And a great assist by Miller as that one goes in. Minot's got his first basket. The Grizzlies trail by 3. Now Kennard. He has yet to score.
Let's see some numbers here on Kennard. How he performed last season. Last season chipped in 11 points per game. 3 assists and 3 rebounds. Nothing about his numbers really jump out at you, but he'll come up with a timely play or two every game.
And that's what you need from some guys on the team. Not everyone can be an all-star. You need glue guys to find that success too.
Reed with a screen on Kennard. Pass to Reed. Played in with a nice touch off the glass. And the Timberwolves lead by 3.
Man, have they been effective at getting the ball inside.
There's the pick. Knocks it loose. Kennard, the pass to Wells. Outside Jackson. Wells sets the pick for Jackson. 5 to shoot. Pass to Wells. Miller grabs the miss.
I don't know if he got in his own head there or what, because the defense can't really take credit for that miss.
Here's Minot, guarded by Jackson. To the middle, here's Miller, and it's Miller with the jam.
Yeah, I mean, maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that one.
And we know he's capable of those memorable ones. Now, here's Kennard. Defended by Alexander Walker. Pass to Edie, and that's a foul called on Naz Reid. That's foul number 2 for him.
And now only 1 away from being in the penalty.
Here's Williams, and Williams throws it down.
And those plays can make a difference in a game like this.
Well, you know it's going to fire up, Greg, everybody on that bench.
And you can feel the jolt of energy that he sent through his team. That is a huge boost in a tight game like this.
Reed gets the bucket.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
Kennard for 3. Reed with the rebound. And the Timberwolves with possession. They're on a 12-4 run right now. Shots good by Alexander Walker.
Hey, whatever adjustments they made at halftime, they are working to perfection.
Oh, yeah, I can't agree more. They haven't missed.
Here's Kennard. Missed inside.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on him.
Alexander Walker on the wing. Buries it down low. And it's a 10-point Minnesota lead.
And this offense is in a perfect rhythm. And you can see how they're finishing their plays.
Right about that. Seems like they haven't missed.
On up the court. Throws it down despite the man right in his face. A chance here for a 3-point play.
Great teamwork punctuated by a strong finish.
Yeah, that's nice execution, running with purpose and creating an easy scoring opportunity off the break.
The Grizzlies have gone only 1 of 6 from the field in the third quarter. Not how they pictured the half started. And with that shot, the Timberwolves lead is cut down to just 10 points with the bucket from Williams. Driving the lane. Shots good by Shannon.
When you allow good scorers to get uncontested shots at the rim, no wonder you're losing.
That's a great possession. Put your best players in a position to succeed.
And finished off by Williams.
Strong move to the 10, trying to get his guys going.
Hard not to get motivated, GA, right when your teammate makes that kind of play.
And that could be the spark they needed to make a little run as they try to even this thing up.
Here's Reed, and he's good on the 3-ball. Reed's got the lead up to 13 now for the Timberwolves.
And with the lead, I like the strategy here. Continue to get the ball to guys who can do something with it.
This is when good players really get after it. He can sense that they're reeling. He's going to put his foot on the pedal.
Beyond the leaning, you could see his feet weren't set on that screen. Easy call.
Look, guys get away with this all the time, but on this occasion, he got caught.
And this is how you want to come out of the half. prolific and efficient.
Well, I credit some of that to their communication out on the floor. They are attacking as a unit.
And a quick look now at the State Farm assist of the game.
And I'm glad this was the pick because I love this pass. Such a great dish. That's what I call court vision.
That wasn't a better pass in the game, almost like he had a sixth sense.
And as we head into the fourth, we'll see if there's a comeback in the works or if it's more of the same from the first three quarters. Morant is the point with Bain out on the wing. Marvin Bagley is out there with Jackson, and it's Clark in at the 3 slot. That's the lineup in the game for Memphis.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far. And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Minnesota leading by 20. And the foul called on Brandon Clark. That is his first foul of the game. When you compare, Richard, the NBA to the other major sports leagues, you have to be proud of the way things are run.
The NBA is a global league that focuses on global expansion, more so than any other major sport in the United States. And when it comes to the players, there isn't a league that treats their players better.
You know what? They're winning, though, despite the fact that he has just been really
Rate of baskets assisted, it's a stat I really like. It tells the story of how well you are playing team offense.
Edwards against Clark. Outside Edwards. Gobert. And finished off by Gobert.
And all of that size rolling there after that screen. Gobert moves now with such confidence when in the pick and roll.
Stolen by McDaniels. And we've got a whistle. The refs are indicating it's a transition take foul. It's going to be a shot and the ball. And guys, what do you think about the offensive approach we've seen so far for the Timberwolves?
They're moving the ball around so well, guys. Quick passes, letting the next guy do the work if you don't have a look.
And also, guys, the confidence to keep taking the three. It's been falling, so they've got to keep going back to it.
Reed, he's checked in for Minnesota. Stolen by Jackson. And a wide open look for Bain. Good, nice assist from Morant. Morant's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. And Reed has it in the corner. DiVincenzo kicks to Edwards. It's stolen. And here we go. Fast break, and Morant's got it. Took him no time at all on that one.
Quick thinking from Bain there. I like watching him rise up like this off the pass.
Here's Edwards. Right to the hoop. And finished off by Edwards.
Man, what a creative finisher. Edwards is so fast in how he gets up to throw it down.
Some solid defense from Clark. The Grizzlies trail by 17. Now here's Morant for 3. Misses the hole. Now shooting 8 for 14. And Jaren Jackson picks up the foul. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game.
2nd personal foul. 3rd team foul.
Clark against Edwards. 3rd minute of action now gone here in the 4th. Edwards with another miss.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
And again, Memphis no good. Minnesota leading by 17. Randall passes to Reed, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. That's on Jaren Jackson, and that one falls for Reed. Well, a lot of former NBA players have a hard time, RJ, giving credit to current NBA stars. Why do you think that is?
I think so quickly we don't hold next generations to the same standard as prior generations. I don't get into all of that stuff about who is better and who is greater. I just focus on the growth of the game.
Bain against Edwards. Pass to Reed. Back to Edwards. Reed with a screen on Bain. Here's Edwards. Here's Randall. lays it up off the glass. And the Timberwolves lead by 21.
Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it. Just a total mismatch and a true show of strength for Minnesota.
You don't see this kind of a blowout often, but tonight this is a quality win across the board to deliver out this kind of punishment.
They definitely never changed the approach. They just kept after it and showed they were clearly the better team in just about every single category.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
Really a big-time win for these guys. They lost their first 2 games of the year to this team, so they won't be in danger of getting swept when they meet for the 4th time.
And one of the key components to this victory, if not the biggest, was the incredible performance for Anthony Edwards.
We certainly got to see his best effort on offense, attacking the defense without fear and grabbing a lot of buckets.
Clock is at 3. Here's Morant. And McDaniels with the block. Edwards drives in. Oh, wow! Oh, that was unbelievable!
Now that is a finish for the ages.
Oh, man. And here's Morant. From deep three-point territory. Can't get it to fall. So it's Minnesota winning this one easily. A resounding victory for them. And Greg in enemy territory, no less.
That's